Hello there! Thanks for joining me. Today I've decided to paint these strawberries. They are locally grown and they looked so juicy and they smell amazing, and I'm trying to capture some of those elements in my sketch. Let's see how it goes. The paper I'm going to use today is this Winsor and Newton watercolour cold press, and it's in a block. It's 100% cotton and 300 GSM or 140 pounds. The block means that it is stuck on all sides apart from this corner here, so that when you paint it doesn't buckle, and then when you finished you peel it off by lifting up that corner like so. This is one of the brushes I'm going to be using. It's the medium synthetic squirrel quill brush. You can see that it will really spread out, and I'll show you why I love using quill brushes. And the other one is the No. 8 synthetic sable round. This Winsor and Newton pan set that I'm using has a Winsor red and also a crimson, so I'm probably going to use these two mainly today with some of the sap green. I did show you that big quill brush, and if you're not used to it, I would recommend practicing some of the shapes that I want to talk about for the strawberries on just printer paper like this. It's just plain bog standard printer paper. Often people feel like they don't want to make a mistake on the expensive stuff, so just practice on really, ordinary paper. What we're trying to do is just the brush movements. If you look at strawberries, they're basically round but elongated. So I push down hard with one side and then the other side and then lift up. Let's try another one. Push down and then go to the other side, push down, lift up. And if you can just practice doing that, when it comes to using your expensive 100% cotton paper, you won't feel like you can't make a mistake. There you go. I know they just look like blobs at the moment. If we move on and start introducing more of a strawberry shape, some of them look like elongated hearts. So if you push down hard and then lift up but leave your brush on the paper, that's one side, and then do the same on the other side. Push down, start lifting up, and you've got that sort of shape. Let's just try one more. It's got room here, and this is just practice. Push down, start lifting up, and same again. You don't need to have a quill brush. You can just use a big round brush. That's the equivalent. So that's a good start. I'm going to use this red, which is called Winsor Red, and I would say it doesn't really matter which red you're using. We need to make it into a very, very light wash, so not very much pigment in it for the style of work I want to produce. Starting on this left-hand side, remember we're going to make that strawberry shape, so we press down and then lift up. And I'm just going to add just more water to my brush. I've just dipped my brush in the water and do the same here. But this next time I'm going to add a lot more pigment and place a strawberry shape next to it. So it's called kissing. I know it's not a very technical term, but let's see what effects happen when we do that. Let's elongate that strawberry. Really, really nice. You can see that the pigment is starting to flow, and I'll put one here. Let's wet my brush again, get some of the pigment off, and place another strawberry shape just next to that one, just touching it so that the pigment has somewhere to flow, because pigment can only flow where there is water. Gorgeous, gorgeous. And I'm going to carry on doing that. So load your brush with different quantities of pigment to water, but keep on making those strawberry shapes. If I show you at this stage while the paint is still drying, it isn't quite dry, it's damp, but I want to put extra details on, so at this stage I would like it to dry fully, but I wanted to really show you some of the beautiful backflows, cauliflowering effects that are created where you added the pigment and the water, and that is one of my favourite aspects that I love to look out for, and I try to make the most of it. Now, to create the stalks, I'm going to mix a tiny bit of this lemon yellow with the sap green, which is this one here, and that creates a really nice vivid green. I usually start with the stalk, something like that, and again keep it really loose and just a few of those leaves coming off this central, so I work from the middle and go outwards like that. If I do another one about here, let's put the central stalk in and work out. Usually 3 or 4 is enough. I want to add some features within the sliced strawberries, so these are the lighter strawberries. I'm not trying to copy exactly what's on my plate, but if you use the lighter versions to denote the sliced open strawberries. Let's load up our brush with a fair bit of pigment and create, I think this is called a lozenge type shape. We're starting from the middle, and it does these little almost like eyelashes, a bit like that. And then it curls upwards a little bit like that. I'll just add one more down here. That's it. And I'll make this one a cut strawberry. And I've just pushed down, just to create a little bit variation, I've pushed down a little bit harder on the brush and lifted it up. To finish off the look, I'm going to be using this Fineliner. It's sepia brown and it's 0.5, and I'm going to be using it to add the seeds, and I'm not going to be placing seeds all over. I tend to keep them at the edges, only because I think your brain is really capable of working out. I know when we first started creating these, it might have looked just like slightly shapeless, but your brain is actually capable of working out, oh, seeds, they must be strawberries. It is one of the defining characteristics of strawberries, so I'm just going to carry on doing these. I'm really pleased with how these strawberries turned out. They are pretty much how I imagined them to be. Pretty loose, almost to the point where if I didn't add those seeds using the pen, I would probably have a little bit of difficulty describing them as strawberries. I didn't want to work in them too much because the effects are really lovely, so I wanted them to show through, and you can see that I've tried to keep it as light as possible. Overworking can be such an issue, but I think I've got it just right here.